Is Samsung finally stepping away from doing everything in-house when it comes to smartphone components? That's what recent reports suggest, especially with how the Galaxy S26 is shaping up behind the scenes. For years, Samsung's mobile division has mostly relied on its own semiconductor arm to produce RAM and storage chips. But with production challenges mounting, the company seems to be opening its doors to outside suppliers, most notably Micron, one of its key rivals in the memory market. It started quietly with the Galaxy S25 series, where Samsung mixed in RAM and storage chips from both its own semiconductor division and Micron. But now, according to Korean media, Micron is playing an even bigger role. The Galaxy S25 reportedly gets 60% of its LPDDR5X memory chips from Micron, while Samsung's own chip-making unit is handling just 40%. Why the shift? It all comes down to yield rates. Micron is simply getting better results from its production process, more usable chips per batch, while Samsung's semiconductor division is facing lower yields. That means it costs more for Samsung to make the same type of RAM in-house, putting pressure on production budgets and forcing the company to balance between performance and profitability. But that's just the beginning. Micron is already sending sample LPDDR5X chips to Samsung for next year's Galaxy S26 series, and the tech inside these chips is a step ahead. They feature a reduced circuit line width, which not only helps shrink the size of the chip, but also boosts production yields. That gives Micron an even stronger position to win more of Samsung's business moving forward. It's a clear sign that Samsung MX, the mobile division, is focused less on loyalty to its own group and more on getting the best hardware possible for its smartphones. And the end result could benefit users as well. One of the most talked about upgrades for the Galaxy S26's RAM. So far, Samsung has been selective in offering the 16GB RAM option only in a few specific regions or models. But with better supply, thanks to companies like Micron, there's a real chance that 16GB RAM could be offered more widely with the Galaxy S26. That's great news for people who want better multitasking, smoother gaming, and more efficient performance overall. And while it might sound strange that Samsung is turning to a competitor for such a key part of its phones, it's not really unusual in today's tech world. Most companies source components from different suppliers to keep costs in check and ensure steady production. For Samsung, relying more on Micron could be a strategic move that helps it deliver a stronger product while dealing with internal manufacturing hurdles. Could Apple's next iPhone finally bring back the colors people actually miss, or is it just another false alarm? A new leak suggests that the iPhone 17 base model might come into fresh pastel shades, a soft green and a light purple. This rumor comes from leaker Majin Buu, someone who's been around in the Apple leak world for a while but hasn't always been on point. On Friday, Buu shared that Apple is currently testing these pastel options and even released images showing how they might look. The purple looks very close to the one Apple used in the iPhone 11 lineup, a gentle, almost lavender shade. The green, however, is deeper than the light green on the iPhone 15 and has more yellow tones than the mint green on the iPhone 12. According to Buu, only one of these colors might actually make it to the final version of the phone. And right now, purple is reportedly in the lead. While this might not sound like a major shift, color options have always been important in how Apple markets its base models. A fun, standout color can often give the standard iPhone a bit more personality, especially when compared to the Pro models, which usually stick with darker, more serious finishes. In the blog post that goes along with the leak, Buu also lists a few expected upgrades coming to the iPhone 17. These include a 120Hz display, which is something fans have wanted on the base model for a while now, especially since promotion has been limited to Pro models, and an aluminum frame rather than the stainless steel or titanium seen in higher-end versions. The camera system is also expected to get better, though it will still feature a dual lens setup. What's different is the vertical alignment. which matches what we've already seen in leaked molds and dummy models of the iPhone 16. Internally, the iPhone 17 base model is rumored to use the A18 Bionic chip, which would mark a new generation of Apple's processors. While there's no official word yet on performance boosts, battery improvements, or milliampere-hour ratings, new chips usually bring better speed and power efficiency. It's worth pointing out, though, that Majin Buu doesn't always have the best track record. While some of their leaks do turn out to be accurate, often the kind you could guess based on Apple's usual release patterns, they've also shared predictions that completely missed the mark. For example, they claimed that the iPhone 15 Ultra would have two front-facing cameras, a design that never actually appeared. That makes this pastel rumor a bit of a gamble. Still, with all the other pieces lining up, from mold leaks to the expected layout, it's not out of the question that Apple might be trying to make its base models more appealing through design and color, especially if it wants to separate. Is your next smartwatch about to cost you more than expected? If you're eyeing Samsung's upcoming Galaxy Watch 8 lineup, you might want to brace yourself because a new leak just revealed some unexpected price hikes. Well, we've had good news about the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Z Flip 7 prices in Europe. The same can't be said for Samsung's new wearables. According to a recent report by WinFuture, the Galaxy Watch 8 and the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic will be more expensive than their predecessors, and the Ultra 2 model will remain the most expensive of the bunch, despite only a few changes. So let's break down exactly what this means. First up is the standard Galaxy Watch 8. It's expected to launch into sizes 40mm and 44mm, and both variants could cost 40 to 50 euros more than the Galaxy Watch 7. If we take the launch prices of the Watch 7, which were 319 euros for the 40mm model and 349 euros for the 44mm one, the Watch 8 models could now start at around 359 euros and 399 euros respectively. That's not a small increase for a smartwatch that may only offer mild upgrades in terms of features. Then there's the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic. This version will also be more expensive than its 2023 counterpart. The Watch 6 Classic launched at 419 euros, with the top-end 47mm LTE version costing as much as 499 euros. Now, the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic is expected to start at 469 euros and go all the way up to 549 euros for the highest configuration. That's a 50 euro hike across the board. What's surprising, though, is that the Classic won't be the top-of-the-line model anymore. That title will once again go to the Galaxy Watch Ultra, Samsung's most premium smartwatch. And even though the 2025 version, which some are calling the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2, doesn't seem to have a lot of changes compared to the original Ultra released in 2024, apart from new color options, it's still going to cost the same as last year's model, a steep 699 euros. Many assumed that since this year's Ultra looks nearly identical to the first one, Samsung might lower the price, but according to the leak, that's not happening. So while the Classic sees a price increase, the Ultra holds its premium price tag with only a mild refresh, making it the most expensive option in the lineup once again. Now here's something else to think about. Will Samsung continue selling the original Galaxy Watch Ultra after the new one launches? It's unclear. Keeping the 2024 model in stores might help offer a cheaper Ultra option,